Hey y'all, it's Kristen. Welcome to the Tribe Podcast. Tribe is a resource podcast for entrepreneurs looking to build their entrepreneurial tribe. Over my years of working with business owners, I've realized that it's important to know who you need as a part of your network before you need them. Listen in as I ask my trusted resources the question you've always wanted answers to, but didn't want to pay to get. If you're new to your business or you're established and you're just busy, feel free to borrow my tribe as you build your empire. Hey, guess who we have today? Welcome, my friend, Jordan Gill. Jordan is the owner of an online business called Me. If you've ever felt like you're in email jail or you're like executing the same actions over and over again to onboard clients, Jordan has a system for you. She's going to talk about why to build systems and basically how to get more free time. I'm sure you want to know about this. Let's jump in. So today we're chatting with Jordan Gill. She is the head honcho at Me. Yay for systems.
Yay for systems. They're the best thing ever.
Jordan, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, Kristen.
Awesome. You're so welcome. So I'm really excited to hear what you have to say because you have a whole podcast and business built around building systems for business owners. And if you're a solopreneur like myself, you're doing a lot of stuff and you want to hire an assistant, but maybe you're not ready to make the leap. And so you're going to talk to us about how to automate our lives, right?
Yeah. Automation equals domination, in my personal opinion.
Why don't we have to? I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to chat. We might stay on topic. We might not, but let's just get into it.
I'm ready. Let's ride the wave.
Cool. So tell us about you and your business.
Yes. So, hey y'all, I am, like she said, the head honcho over at Me. I've been in business I think I'm at the 2.5-year mark this month. And it has evolved in both business model, in name, in all sorts of stuff. But the premise has stayed the same, which I started it to help business owners really streamline their business operations. And business operations is kind of a 3-tier, portion of your business. So there's finances, there's the people, and then there's the actual process part, which most people think of it as just the process part, but we tend to kind of touch all three in the Me level. And we're actually going to have launched the other aspect of the business because that was kind of like consulting. And now we are adding on an arm of digital products. So I'm really excited about that as a completely different business model than I've had, and which is slightly scary, but really, really exciting. So lots of big things happening in the end of 2018, early 2019 part of my company.
That is amazing. I am sitting here wondering what a digital product is.
Yes. Good question. So digital product can scan between like an ebook to a course to a training to like anything that people can essentially just like purchase and consume or do or any of those sorts of things, read, that sort of stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So why or how did you become a systems guru?
So, systems are one of those things that I didn't recognize was like a thing. Like this was how I move about the world. It's very organized. It's very structured. And I realized actually from a boss that I had at the time where I was actually writing content for her. And she recognized how structured my whole content process was. Mm-hmm. She was like, do you have a process for everything? I was like, yeah, duh. And she was like, oh, like that is not normal. And I could actually use that in a lot of other areas of my business. So then I kind of switched or transitioned from head of content in her business to head of operations and basically just went through her entire business and built out all the processes, hired and trained all of the team coming on, and it was a really cool experience. And I was like, I could totally do more of this. And so then that's kind of how I then moved into the entrepreneurial side and continued to just do the operation stuff.
So for someone who's trying to figure out what you do, we have a friend that is positive you sell drugs. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He knows who we're talking about. So someone's like, so what do you do? Like, can you give us an idea of something you might systematize?
Yes. So a good example is like, I would say the general population gets haircuts. So this is an easy example for people to understand is your hairstylist has to have some sort of way for you to schedule an appointment with him or her. And then she has to also have a way to get payment from you. They also have to understand the process of what a haircut actually entails. Is there a wash? Is there a dry? Is there all these different elements? And what I would do for a hairstylist is I would help them with their entire client management system, which is basically from phone call or online scheduler to book an appointment all the way until you actually have finished your appointment and they've paid you. So making sure that that is as streamlined as possible and generally speaking, as automated as possible as well.
So why would it be important to do that? And I'm also wondering for someone who's thinking like, all of my clients are special and need different special things. And so I can't have a process. Shakes.
Yes. I have heard the special snowflake monologue many a times.
My clients are snowflakes and they all need something special.
Right. Yeah. Heard it all before. So I have yet to, unless you have a business where you are doing like bids, where it is very specific, or you're doing like grants or stuff like that, that's really the only extra business that would be really hard to make processes around. However, I would say generally speaking, for services people, the process is pretty similar. There's like 3 phases. Generally speaking, there's a gathering phase, which is, okay, once they say, yes, I want to be a client, how are you preparing them to become a client with you? You might ask similar questions. You might, again, have similar contracts, all of that sort of stuff. Then there's the work and feedback phase, which essentially just has to do with, again, if you are a hairstylist, you are having to do the work, which is obviously like the haircut and all that sort of stuff. And then hopefully at the end, you get good feedback. And then that's a very simple process. But for people who are doing maybe ongoing copywriting, there's, you do the work of the first draft, then you get feedback. You do the work of the second draft, then you get feedback, all of that. And then the last one is close out, which is then how are you offboarding your clients to be successful in whatever it is they want to do, whether it's like go have great hair or go have great website copy. So, I think people, again, want to feel like they are unique, and you are unique. Your processes are not so unique, and that's okay. People aren't looking for you to have different processes. In fact, they don't want you to have different processes. They, every time Facebook changes their UI, which is a process, their user experience. So when the whole dashboard looks different, they've named all the tabs, different stuff, like people don't like that. They're like, I'm used to it being like this. So if you're doing too much differently than what people are used to, then they're going to go to what's familiar, because that's just how people operate. They don't want to have to think and learn all this new stuff.
So it won't feel like generic then.
Correct. And how you can, again, so for example, like no one cares like how fancy smashy your contract process is, or how fancy your payment process is. No one needs a fanfare when they're doing contracts and payment. But like how you can make yours unique is you can send a really cool client gift, or I had a gal recently, she was a website developer I was working with, and actually during the contract process, funny enough, she sent a link to a Starbucks gift card along with the contract and said, I know this is really long, so like go and get yourself a cup of joe and like sit down and read the contract. And I thought that was like so cute. And it like was a different touch. So again, you don't have to do Starbucks, or you don't have to do a big client gift or whatever else, but just thinking of ways to welcome people into working with you. It doesn't have to be crazy, but just those little touches can definitely make a big difference.
Yeah. She obviously knows that Starbucks is your love language.
Basically, like if I could marry Starbucks, I might.
We have a proposal.
I love it.
Ready to come off the market for you.
Yes, absolutely.
So why should somebody be thinking about this now? Or when should they think about it?
Yeah, I think when you're a business owner, it's important to think about it because in my personal opinion, money is a renewable resource. Your time and energy are not really. You only really have so much time as far as I know in 2018 so far. That is how it is. And so if you are just like burning the midnight oil every single day and feeling exhausted and not fulfilled by your business day in and day out, then that's probably around the time that you should be thinking about systems. It's interesting because I actually don't believe that people like starting businesses really should focus on systems. And here's why. Because you are going to have so many iterations of your business in the first year and a half that you're going to have to literally redo your systems every single time, whether it's changing packages or changing lengths or changing all this stuff. And it's like, just get your feet wet, just get your sales under control. And then once you get to a point where it's feeling a little bit messy, then, that's the time that you should be looking into systems. Because again, there's a lot of other important stuff like sales in business that you really want to stay focused on. And I'm the kind of person that likes to suggest like a 1 to 2 focus point for your business. Because again, we can all get wrapped up in 1,700 things to do for our business. Like we can, go write a book. We can go get a brand new website. We can go, do a speaking engagement. Like there's so many things. And so that's why I just kind of give the relief of people just starting businesses that systems may not be the number one priority. But also if you're a very organized person and you feel best in organization, then that's probably my only exception of like, okay, then maybe you need to have systems in the beginning of your business so you don't feel like you're chicken running around with his head cut off. So,
right. So if you were going to start in one particular area of business that you would need to absolutely have to systematize, what would it be?
My biggest one would probably be inbox, which honestly, my inbox was like, I just was all the way angry about my inbox. It was basically like, that chair in your bedroom that you just like throw all your clothes that you don't end up wearing for the day on. Like that was my inbox. Like I was just like, yeah. I'm just going to keep throwing stuff in there and it's going to, take care of itself. Right. Not how it works. And so, but your inbox is such a wealth of opportunity that it's really important for you to manage it well, because if you're missing potential clients, potential speaking engagements, potential whatever, those can be costly in business. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a way to know what emails are important for you to listen to and which ones you don't have to pay attention to. So usually inbox, and everybody in business has an inbox. And again, it starts to build that client experience out to where if your clients feel like you're taking a really long time to get back with them, or they don't feel like they can get a hold of you, like that's going to be a problem. Right. So
yeah, I've definitely been in a position where in the beginning of my business, I felt like my email was owning my life. And I spent all day in my email. And now I feel like I hardly ever check it. And I tell my clients, if it's an emergency, send me an email and then text me. Like if I have to look at it right now. But otherwise, I really only check it twice a day. I don't have notifications.
Good.
I feel like it could probably be more organized. Maybe we talk about that later.
Yeah, we can.
It's a process for like how to just give themselves some sanity and some space to like do the part of the job that they really are there to do.
Exactly.
It's business to manage email.
Exactly.
So tell us, we were talking before we started recording about a funny story you wanted to share.
Yes, I am ready. So it's kind of a funny story because I'm like borderline a creep, like in my life. And I am okay with admitting it. clearly, if I'm saying this on a podcast. And when I was looking to get into the industry that I'm in, which kind of is this like underground online marketing, seems like a drug lord situation industry, I was looking to actually get a job. So like a W-2 employee status. And this woman had a job description and job application and all this stuff. And I'd been following her for about a couple months at that time. And it was like the perfect job description. It was right up my alley. And I was like, she doesn't know it, but like, I'm her head of content, the end. So I did the application, and usually, like in, I guess, like real jobs where you're like, you can see that there's like an office building and like cubicles and stuff, usually you send like a thank you card or something, or just try to stand out in some way or call them. Like I couldn't even call this lady because she works from like anywhere in the world. And so I was like, okay, how can I stand out? And so I saw on Facebook Live that she was in a hotel in San Diego speaking at an event about Pinterest. And I was like, bam, like I'm going to send her cupcakes at her hotel. So I went to Sprinkles, which is bomb cupcakes. They're expensive though. I'm pretty sure I spent like $80 on cupcakes. It was like a whole thing. I think I got a dozen cupcakes. I got 6 flavors, and I got 2 of each flavor because I knew that she was there with her husband. And I found those, like, I knew what flavors to get her because I stalked her Pinterest, and I was like, what's her flavor profile? And so I went through and I found the different cupcakes that matched her flavor profiles. And I sent the cupcakes and just sent a little note that said, hey, best of luck speaking at Social Media Marketing World or whatever it was called. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity to apply to work with you. Don't worry, I got you 2 of every flavor so you don't have to share with Devin, who's her husband. And it's funny because when that happened, Devin was like, you are hiring Cupcake Girl. Like you are hiring her like immediately. And I was like, yes. So then I got the job, and people think it's so hard to stand out. It's not that hard. And I think that people, like, if you really want something, right? Like if you really want that job, you really want that client, you really want that speaking opportunity, whatever it is, like go after it and stop doing like the spray and pray method where you're just like as many as possible. Like that isn't the way to go in my personal opinion. It's by like being intentional about, again, what opportunities you want to have in your life, and that focus automatically just like it beelines it straight into, and you may not get every single one. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I found a lot more benefits to doing that than mishaps.
Yeah. That's an amazing story. And I learned a lot from it, specifically how expensive cupcakes from Sprinkles are.
Straight up. Oh my gosh. Because I also had to have them delivered. So then, add that on. But
in San Diego.
In San Diego. Yeah.
I didn't even know Sprinkles delivered cupcakes.
They do. Yes.
Figure out how to deliver some cupcakes to myself.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay. So if someone is thinking, man, I really want to talk to Jordan Gill about systems and figure out where to start or what to do, and it's time for me to take back my life.
Yes.
How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, the best way is to either go to our website, which is systemsavedme.com, or you can go on Instagram. If you're an Instagrammer, I'm pretty frequent on there. That's at systemsavedme. And then if you just like actually want to email old school, again, my inbox is pretty clear. I'm like transitioning stuff right now, so it's a thing. But you can just reach me at hello@systemsavedme.com.
So simple.
Yes.
Saving people everywhere with the system.
Trying to.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Kristen.
You're welcome. Bye. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I appreciate you listening to this episode. I would love to get some great feedback from you. Feel free to leave me a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. Also, any ideas or want to follow up on anything that happened in this episode, I would love to receive your emails. You can email me at kristen@ashtoncharles.co. Otherwise, I hope this episode has helped you be great in your business.